Hello, rats. Welcome back. Has it just been a week? I feel like it's been longer. Because I'm like getting back to real life again because I was gone like for a whole week on this work trip. So I am exhausted. If there was a better word to describe exhaustion, I would think of it if I wasn't so exhausted. Ooh, new drinking game. How many times can Fallon say exhausted in one sentence? um, so yeah, back from my work trip. I was gone for like 4 days. Yeah, 4 days, I think. I don't know at this point. Got back late Friday evening. Um, so let's just dive into it. Observations I have had, things that have happened, et cetera, from the work trip. Oh my goodness. While I also try to get comfortable. So, one, why the fuck is traffic a thing? Obviously, like, yeah, big cities, whatever. But like, I just don't understand why we haven't come up with something to make there not be traffic. Like, again, teleportation. And this also goes into my next point of why does traveling just literally suck and drain the life out of you? Like my first travel day was on Monday. So like that afternoon I had my flight, got in, had to get my rental car, everything like that. Probably got to my hotel around like 11 p.m. Um, so exhausted. But like, it's honestly like kids when they are like overtired and you just can't go to sleep. Plus, I think being in a different sleep environment for me, not having like Matthew, obviously the dude, like all of those things too. I'm like, wait, what's going on? So got in late and I'm exhausted, still didn't really sleep well. And then like Friday when I was coming home, geez Louise, that was an interesting travel day. Like, ugh, and I was just like so exhausted. And obviously had the boot. Um, and let me tell you, of course, I am a queen of I'm volunteering my check bag because they're always asking. Um, did I say that right? That's how tired I am. I don't even know what I just said. I like to volunteer my carry on to be checked because they're always asking, they're always saying there's not going to be room. And like, why bother when there's a possibility that when I get like up to the gate to board, um, that they're going to ask. They're not going to ask. They're just going to tell me I have to check my bag. And at that point, I could have already in my mind knew I was checking it. Plus, with the boot, I was like, oh yeah, we're checking this thing because that's the last thing I need to do is try to get to my next gate, like lugging around a suitcase, especially because I'm the queen of 45-minute, maybe an hour layover. Like the shortest layover they allow you to book with is the layover I'm taking. Um, which sucks when my shit winds up being delayed, as it inevitably does, because then I'm like sprinting. And of course, with Delta, you always like have to go to Atlanta. And Atlanta just stresses me out. There's so many, I mean, so many people. Um, and the stupid train, just everything. So, checked my bag, but the boot was like obviously not giving. Of course, I also, being my delusional self, when I was packing, obviously I only needed my right shoe because the boot is for my left foot. and I'm like packing my shoes, and Matthew's like, "Why are you packing both shoes?" And I'm like, "Well, you never know. Like, what if I miraculously get better overnight?" And he's like, "Okay." And newsflash, didn't just miraculously get better overnight. Didn't even touch the left shoe the entire time I was there. Should not have packed both shoes. Could have given myself more room for other things. Whatever. Um, but like each night my foot was like throbbing in pain because obviously I'm most of the time just working from home, but I was out here hustling. Day 1, airport. Day 2, full day at the clinic. And then like it just never stopped. So, and the boot was just heavy. It was uncomfortable on the plane because like I couldn't get my foot at an angle like that was comfy. Don't 10 out of 10 don't recommend. But was I gonna like ask for a wheelchair? No. Are we insane? Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. Okay, so back to my observations. Also another thing about the airport, I just feel like I had so many revelations while I was in the airport. So many feral thoughts. That's all I could think about was like I literally like had my notes app up and was like typing like random things because I was like, ooh, um, why does everyone act like it's their first day on Earth when they're at the airport? I get it that some people are like, yes, it's your first time at the airport. Yes, it's your first time flying. But like, so a friend and I were talking about this because she picked me up from the airport because it was late and Matthew was already here and the dude was asleep. And we were talking about this because I'll get to the other story that made us start talking about this. But like, one of the things we're talking about is people will literally go to the airport, be going through TSA, and like TSA is like, oh, like this is 8 ounces, and like, oh my god, like really, I can't have this, like, um, it, even if it's your first time flying, shouldn't that be something that you like look up what you're allowed to bring? Also, if you want to bring something more than 3 ounces, just pack it in your dang carry on, not carry on, your check bag, and check a bag. And it's like everyone, when they get to the TSA line too, forgets what you're supposed to do. Take off your shoes. Put everything in the thing. The only thing I will say is that, so for example, like Pensacola, you don't have to take anything out of your bags anymore. You don't even have to take your computers, your anything. But then Minneapolis, they wanted your computers out. So that was the only thing I was even like, oh, okay. But it took me 2 seconds because like all my electronics are in one part of my personal item, like my backpack, for that reason. So I'm not sitting here taking 25 billion years to unload my stuff. And then people still like they act like you know, like when you have your carry-on, they just like put it up there. And it's like you have to put it in one of the stupid boxes. It's just things like that. And I'm like, ugh. Just because traveling in of itself is so annoying and stressful at the airport, especially I think when you just want to get home, like when it's your flight coming home. Mm. Okay, so then my other story I have to tell you, which is what started the conversation with me and my friend of like, what the fuck is wrong with people? We land Pensacola Friday night. It's like late, like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. And row in front of me, diagonal, this guy whips out his like carry on, whips out a tube of Scope toothpaste, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, huh, okay. Literally squirts it in his mouth, raw dogs it, no water, no nothing, and just starts swishing it around in his mouth. At this point, I am like mouth open, staring. Like, how can you not be? I'm hoping that the people behind me were like, what is this bitch staring at? And also witnessed this fucking craziness that I had to witness, because I kept waiting for him to like have like a bottle of water or something at least. Like, oh, okay, maybe he's like using this instead of mouth like wash or something. Who knows? Nope, swallows it. Again, raw dog swallows the toothpaste that he just put in his mouth. Doesn't chase it with water, doesn't chase it with anything. It's just chilling. And I'm still just sitting there like, what? What? Sir, there are bathrooms when you get off the airplane if you need to go like brush your teeth. Also, even if like you didn't have a toothbrush and you, which clearly you do because you have the toothpaste, like use some water and swish that shit around. And also, don't swallow it. That's bad for you. I was like, what? And then I also sometimes forget that like my private thoughts that I'm thinking are like actually coming out verbally. Because then get down to baggage claim to get my bag. This stupid idiot, excuse my words about this person who I don't know, but like it was so frustrating because everybody's got wants to get their bag. Everybody wants to go home, especially at late night flights. Um, and this guy is like pushing through people to grab his bag off the conveyor belt. As he's grabbing his bag, like 3 bags fall off, and it's like right in front of where I'm standing. Hello, sir. I am crippled. I have a boot, and you just made these bags fall right in front of me. And like, of course, in my mind, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then I realized that I said it out loud when like 4 people like turned around and were like, and I was just like, oh, great, there's my bag. Grabbed it and ran out the doors because I'm like, oh, geez, Louise. Ran out the door. We'll hopefully never see those people again. They'll never see me. But also, dude, what the fuck? Just chill. Take a deep breath. Grab your bag. Don't shove people out of the way. Also, like, literally saw the bags fall on the floor and just walked away. Like, at least help put them back on the conveyor belt or, like, set them up or whatever. I don't know. Ridiculous. So, that was a giant feral thought about people in airports and traveling. Please get it together, everyone, and we'll make the world a better place. I promise. Okay, moving on. So basically, obviously, my brain was fried the entire time I was there because I think I worked like 8 to 6 every single day that I was there. Granted, like, yes, I was exhausted and that part bothered me, but what else am I going to do? You know what I mean? I'm on a work trip. Yes, like I did some things like 2 of the nights with some of my coworkers, but it didn't really bother me, you know what I mean? But my brain was just like so fried every night that obviously I brought my Kindle and then I brought this other book. Um I think it's like Journey of the Souls or Journey of Soul. What is it? It's anyways, it's like some book about the afterlife that I've really been wanting to read that Sydney told me is like she had to quit reading because it was like giving her like an existential crisis, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, so I need to read it." Um and so I really did want to read it, but every single night my brain was fried, and it's obviously not like a fiction book, it's not a romance novel, so like it would require brain power. And even if it I was just reading like a romance novel, still would require more brain power than just watching shows. So didn't really read much. But I did watch a lot of stuff. So let's dive deep into it. Um, the Life List. First of all, did not have to do me like that. I like the beginning of it was like, ugh, okay, this is like maybe a little cringe. Obviously, you know what's gonna happen, who's just gonna wind up with, because be so for real. And then Like the last 30 minutes, I'm just like sobbing the whole time in my hotel bed, like, oh my God, like just literally crying myself to sleep. And no joke, I think like as soon as the movie ended, like probably about 5 minutes later, I fell asleep. I had soothed myself right into a slumber with my tears. Love that so much. Um, on the plane, I watched Dexter Original Sin, which Delta really like is out here paving the way for like Paramount Plus and Showtime because we have Paramount Plus and we saw the Dexter thing, but it's like then you have to add on like the Showtime to your Paramount Plus, and I'm like, be so for real, I'm not doing that because we barely even watched the Paramount Plus. So I saw though on my flight that Dexter Original Sin was on there, and I was like, "Ooh, watching." It's only the first 3 episodes. Yep. But the first 3 episodes were fire. So now, guess who's going to add the Showtime to their Paramount Plus? And guess who will likely forget? Because I'm always like, "Oh, I'll add it on for the month and then I'll cancel it." Me. So I'll probably have Showtime for the inevitable future. I don't know, actually, we had Showtime for what was it? I think it was like a Johnny Cash series, I want to say. Maybe not. Maybe it was a different series. Yeah, I think it was a Johnny Cash series. Anyways, and I did good about canceling that because I put a reminder on my phone. So maybe I'll do that again. But Dexter Original Sin, good. Lifeless, sobbing, crying, throwing up, all of the above. Still great. Loved it. Um, and then started watching Queen Charlotte again. A bop, truly a bop. And then also one of the nights I just like turned on the actual TV and the new Bravo show, like Next Gen NYC, was playing. I wasn't giving it that much attention, but I can already tell I'm not going to give it attention because why is it so cringe? And why, like, these kids could never. Like, we're talking about Kim Zolciak's daughter, and like, she's not giving the energy I need her to give. We're talking about Gia, Teresa's daughter, not getting the energy I need. Like, your mothers paved the way for like reality villains almost, you guys. Like, get it together. It just was not, and it's giving very obviously, yes, like I think all of them are influencers, but it's giving very like I do nothing with my life, and this is just an additional way for me to make money. And that bothers me because I'm like, okay, at least if you're gonna be a reality star, like have your money be from something, like just go with the whole like Nepo baby. Like we don't need to hear about like your brand deals and your whatever. And then also like $8,000 for an apartment in New York. I know it's New York and that rent there is already very expensive anyways, but like, geez, you're telling me your brand deals are giving you that much? No, it's your boyfriend whose parents own Zaxby's. So at least he's giving into his Nepo baby life, and I love that for him. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, this is not going to be it for me at all. As soon as I came home Friday, despite how exhausted I was like, oop, gotta watch the Summer House reunion part 2. Why was it again not giving what it needed to give? Left with still so many answers. And then again, I thought that it was going to like give information about like Paige because something that Jesse had said in one of his interviews, but she didn't even say anything on the reunion. It was like something she posted later on. And I'm like, okay, like I was needing this to be a big moment. Uh Gabby, I I hate having like opinions that everybody else has, but what is her purpose? You know what I'm saying? Also, why does Lindsay keep like tr- trying to like walk herself around answering the fact that she's just not returning. And I hate to be like, as someone with a child, I hate to be like, oh, you can't do that anymore because you have a child. But literally, how are you going to go to the Hamptons every single weekend during the summer if you have a child, unless you're just not gonna like have them during the weekends, which is whatever. But I just like, I also, again, I just really want to see Summer House rebrand and have like an all new cast and get rid of this older cast. And I've been seeing all like this stuff about a spinoff or whatever. And I'm like, honestly, I'd be here for that, because then like take all of the older members and put them on this spinoff or whatever, which is whatever they do in their normal lives in New York on a day-to-day basis. And then let's get some fresh meat in there for our weekends in the Hamptons, because the whole point again of Summer House is to watch them like party and go out and do things during the summer, which I feel like the past 3 summers has not been happening because they're all older. Or if they are, it's like the dudes, and it's like, ugh, who really cares about Kyle and his 42-year-old self going and staying out till 3 a.m.? I don't care. That's everything that I've absorbed watching in the past week. Quite a bit, if you ask me. Gotta get back into Real Housewives of Atlanta this week. Not sure if I'll have much time though. Alas. Okay, also on my YouTube, like there's like YouTube Studio where you could check your analytics, and if people comment, you can see their comments and like respond to them there. You can also respond to them on like the normal app. But anyways, it's not my first hate comment. But this one just like, I think I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is like another hate comment. And now I'm like, wait, I have haters. So does that mean I've made it? Because and it's literally so dumb. I think it's funny when people comment stuff like on my little like clips or whatever, because usually what they're commenting is like, if you would just go listen to the whole thing, you would have like heard what I had to say. This one was just funny because it was like, ugh, this girl's voice annoys me. And I'm like, oh, wah. Like literally, why didn't you scroll? My voice annoys you, but you took the time to comment. Thank you. Now that you commented, actually, it's going to like help populate this video more to more people. That's what I don't understand about haters. Do you not realize that your comment on the post then makes it like something that is going to be viewed more by other people? Because that's how the algorithms work. Ya ding ding. Anyways, no, another hate comment I had got was a clip that I posted from like my Mother's Day episode, or maybe it wasn't my Mother's Day episode, it was like the episode after that. It doesn't matter what episode it was, but it was about like, it's 2025, why are we giving dads like credit for literally just being a dad? And this guy posts on my thing and is like, yeah, like, but I'm not giving her credit for like something she wanted to. It's just something very dumb and ignorant, like, most men do. And then you click on his profile picture, um, muscle tee, like the cheap $5 Walmart sunglasses, standing in front of Trump Towers. Yeah, sir, your comment's really gonna hurt. It really sat with me, and I had to think about how deep and intellectual your comment was to me. Anyways, I just wanted to point out that I think that is me getting hate comments is a sign of moving up in the world, is a sign of feral thoughts moving up in the world. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just destined to have haters no matter what. But anyways, okay, this morning literally woke up and was just like, probably because I didn't take my meds yesterday and then I didn't even take my meds today. Oops. Woke up and I was like, "Ooh, I need a coffee so bad." But not necessarily coffee, like I wanted to try a latte and I was out of like the concentrate here because I wasn't here all week. So I told Matthew, I was like, I'm going to get a coffee. Went to Seven Brew and it hit me. I mean, it wasn't really like that early, but it's like we're talking about like 7:45, 8 on a Sunday. These people are so happy. And then it got me thinking, why are people who work at coffee shops so happy, especially that early in the morning? Like, imagine, because their shift didn't just start. They probably were like the first shift, which is like 5, whatever time the place opens, if it, you know what I mean? So, and you're still this happy. Or even if you're not this happy, you're still able to fake it that much. That's crazy. Crazy behavior. Because I can't. Like, she's like, oh my gosh, like, it's a beautiful morning. Like, what can I get you today? And I was like, beautiful morning. Like, I haven't even put together 2 brain cells to think about what type of morning it is. But good morning. Hello. Thank you so much. I hope that your niceness wears off on me. Also, meanwhile, I'm like in my PJs, but my PJs weren't really PJs. They were just like sweatpants and like a shirt. So I probably look like I just left, like, and I'm doing the like walk of shame. Meanwhile, literally the walk of shame from my own house and my own husband. Yeah, that's what I say. Um, got my chai latte though, and didn't really put me into a state of non-exhaustion after I finished it. Not really, because I've been in it all day, but it tasted delicious for $7. I did ask for light ice though, because let me tell you, Seven Brew, I don't have any complaints about it, other than why the fuck is my drink only ice? And I'm paying $7. What? If I have to ask for light ice, that's fucking crazy. Because I love ice and I want my shit to be as cold as possible. But if I can finish a like large in like 5 sips and you charge me like $7, you're ripping me off. So I did ask for light ice today. Um, and I like said that when I got home, I told Matthew, I was like, got light ice. And he was like, congratulations, you got scammed again, if that's light ice. And I'm like, I do feel like this is a little better than the regular like ice that they give me. So I'll take it. I keep scratching if you're watching because surprise, I got burnt again. It's of course, well, I did get a little burnt on my arms, but it turned into a tan today. I got the weirdest burns. I got burns like right on the outside of like my strap line for my top. Then I got burnt only on like the bottom half of my stomach, got burnt on the top half of my back, and then my legs, I got burnt on like the very top of my thighs, like close to where my bikini line is. And then I'm still peeling from when we were in Louisiana, and the bottom half of my legs got burnt. So I'm sure that that's just going to exacerbate that. And I don't know what to do anymore, you guys. I've been putting sunscreen on. I've like this time I even had 75 and normally I have 50 and I was religiously putting that on. Thankfully my face didn't get burnt at least because I was just lathering that shit on my face and like even letting the sheen be like, a little bit more white, like the zinc, like not rubbing it in so much. But yeah, I still got burnt. So love that for me. I just think that the sun is out to get me this summer because I don't feel like I've ever burnt like this many times. Normally I just need to like burn a few times, usually just once, like a pretty gnarly one. And then like, yeah, like I'll get like a little red, but then the next day it's a tan. Like I finally live like my husband and my son get to live, because like Bo did get like on the crease in his arm, like a little tiny bit burnt. Tan today. Fucking rude. So rude. We put him in, or I put him in, because normally he just wears like the shorts and like the long sleeve shirts, like rash guard things. And Matthew was like, he is literally, it's crazy. He's so pale up here. And I was like, well, I don't want to not put him in a shirt because it's so sunny, but I have like a short sleeve one we can put him in. So now he has a farmer's tan. It's actually really cute, little baby farmer's tan. Um, but I think it's also just so rude that the world is out to get solely me. And why do I have to burn every time I'm putting on sunscreen? What else can you make me do? And yes, we had the umbrella up, but it was so windy that the umbrella actually flew away at one point. And Matthew's like, I can't put it back up again. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I'm not even getting that burnt. And I really genuinely didn't think that I got that burnt. And isn't it crazy also how it always works that way? Me and my nail tech were talking about that today. Why do you never know how much sun you really got until after you get out of the shower? What is it about like the heat and like condensation in the shower, I guess, that makes you realize how burnt you are? I don't know. But I knew my the top of my back had gotten a little burnt, and I knew my thighs had, but had no idea it was like it was until I got out of the shower, and I was like, oh, okay, that's great. Here's to another week of lathering aloe on myself. Um, Great. Right as we gear up to go to Tampa, which I'm very excited about. For a multitude of reasons, because we love Kaylee and Duke, and I mean we saw them in March for the dude's birthday, but I don't feel like we've had a time to like really just spend immense quality time with them in so long, and we haven't been to Tampa. We didn't go last year, and it's kind of been our thing ish. Like we've usually been going either for my birthday or like around my birthday for a little while now, maybe like 2 years, except last year. So I'm excited for that. We got city passes so that we could go to Busch Gardens, we could go to the aquarium, we could go do all these things that the dude will enjoy too. So I'm really excited about that. Look at him getting to be well traveled and, living his best life. I love that for him. Wish somebody would have done that for me as a kid. So I'm like living vicariously through him. Um, the only thing I'm a little disappointed about is that I have to share my birthday with Father's Day. The universe, like, it's playing a sick joke on me, I feel like. That's the thing about my birthday. It's normally like Father's Day is like the day after, a couple days after, like whatever. It is always near it, but I can't remember a time. I mean, it'd have to be when I was like a kid, because it hasn't been in the last several years that my birthday has actually been on Father's Day. But also it's on a Sunday, so like we're literally going to be like coming back the day anyways. Who cares? Another great thing about Tampa is I'm so excited because Kaylee's going to join on the pod. Um, and I just feel like it's so fitting because it's also going to be episode 20. So, oh my God, another monumental episode. And we'll be in Tampa and Kaylee will be on the pod. How crazy. But no, I'm really excited. But I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm exhausted and I have just a few days to try to catch up on sleep and then go be exhausted again. And I was thinking about this. I was like, why does this happen to us every summer? Or why do we do this to ourselves every summer? As like we jam our calendars and to the point where like each month maybe has like only one or 2 weekends out of it, usually like 1 where there's nothing planned. So like for June, I think we literally have 1 weekend where there's nothing planned. July is usually, I think, like a little bit less of a travel month for us because Blue Angels is here and like that's right after 4th of July. And then like if anything, like we're traveling towards the end of July, like the beginning of July at least have some, but we're still doing stuff. Um but I was thinking about that. I'm like, summer is always just like boom, 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 boom. We never chill. But I guess that's a natural thing in life because I feel like everybody else does kind of the same thing. Because like weather's nice, what else are you gonna do? If you have kids, like they're not like older kids, they're not in school, so like yeah, you're gonna go do things. I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited to continue my exhaustion and my socializing. Mainly, I'm excited because, like, I'm excited to go to the zoo, the aquarium, but I've never been to Busch Gardens either, and I'm really excited for that because can't even remember the last time I've been to an amusement park, truly. Like, I'm really trying to think about it. I can't remember. So I'm really excited. Um, and I know I had a whole bunch of feral thoughts earlier in the episode about the airport, but this is a feral thought that I had last episode, but forgot to mention it. Don't know how I forgot it. And I'm just going to say the feral thought, and there's going to be no context because I don't want there to be any context to it. You have to be important to me to hurt my feelings. Mic drop. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Well, rats, I know this was a very let me catch you up and let me rant about the airport because I feel like that's all I did was rant about the airport and maybe talk about my movies and stuff. But thank you for joining episode 19. We are continuing our journey. We are continuing on and getting better and better. Can't wait to see you for episode 20. Can't wait for Kaylee to be on. Like, I'm so giddy. I have to get all of my stuff ready for my interview questions for her. I'm gonna go tough on her. I am. No, I'm not. I love her too much. All right, you guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.